Ever since I can remember, I have been obsessed with LEGO Star Wars. I was introduced to Star Wars at 3 years old through a family friend, and not long after I discovered LEGO Star Wars. From that moment, a passion was born, which persisted throughout my childhood into adulthood, where now I am still an avid LEGO Star Wars collector. Throughout my fanhood, I have had 3 Grails, sets that I didn't have but was determined to get. The Death Star, the Republic gunship, and the Venator. However, unfortunately, I never got to add any of these to my collection. Until about 4 years ago. In the year 2021, my dad bought a large bin of assorted LEGO off of Facebook Marketplace for about $40, looking to expand our parts collection. Now, I knew that some people who sell LEGO lots like this don't really know what they're giving away, so I was curious to see what was in there. After digging around for a while, finding some Bionicle and some other Star Wars sets, I saw it. Surely enough, within that box contained the LEGO set I had sought after for over a decade. I'm Brick from Brick Army Productions, and today I'm taking a look at the LEGO Venator-Class Republic Attack Cruiser. This set was released in 2009 for $120 which is not bad for 1,100 pieces, though if you adjust that price for inflation in the modern day, that's about $175 to $180, which is pretty expensive. Especially when you compare it to the Imperial Star Destroyer of last year, costing $160 for 1,500 pieces. Now, despite the price, you did get quite a bit of value for this set. Starting off, it includes 5 minifigures, one of which is exclusive to this set, that being the somewhat infamous Chancellor Palpatine. My copy is missing his shoulder pauldrons, but yeah, there's no saving this figure. There's a charm to these older Clone Wars faces, but this one's just a little creepy, however accurate it is. Aside from his face, he has some very simple printing on his torso, and that's it. Comparing this to the newer version that came out just a couple of years ago, this guy falls flat. But he does come with this really cool Death Star hologram piece, printed in gold on a trans-red minifigure head, which is pretty sweet. To accompany the Chancellor, you get 2 Senate Guards, both identical to each other and both sporting the clone headprint underneath, despite the Senate Guard having no clones among its ranks. But that doesn't really matter, as they look much better with their helmets on. Lastly, this set comes with 2 clones, a gunner and a pilot. These ones are fairly common to get in sets at the time, but still a welcome inclusion to help populate the ship. Now, that's a pretty good cast of minifigures, but they're not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the ship itself, and this thing is quite the set. It's got all the exterior details you'd expect from a Venator, with turbo lasers at the front and lining the bridge, 8 engines at the back, 2 bridge towers, and between them you've even got a built-in carrying handle that blends in perfectly with the silhouette. That's just plain clever integration. It also has all the proper markings of a Venator, though due to the brittle nature of old dark red LEGO pieces, there were quite a few casualties during the building process, which is annoying but honestly not unexpected. The ship as a whole does look a little disproportionate and gappy in some places, but it gets the shaping well enough considering its age and the fact that it's got a full interior. That's right, pretty much all the panels you see here open up to reveal interior detail. Starting at the front, this whole panel lifts up to reveal the first area, the Chancellor's chambers. Now, barring the inclusion of the Chancellor and Senate Guard minifigures, I feel this was a bit of a strange addition, with these ships mostly being used to transport soldiers and war vehicles. However, due to the modular nature of LEGO, if it's not your cup of tea, then feel free to replace the Chancellor's desk and chair with a couple of speeders, or clone barracks, or just fill up the space completely with all of your clones. Sky's the limit. Moving on back, in lieu of a hangar, this ship has got a neat little play feature where if you turn this axle, the Venator can bomb those filthy separatists. And when you're out of ammo, you can easily pull the mechanism out and restock. And again, if bombing those filthy separatists isn't your thing, you can just leave it out and keep a small ship in there instead, or maybe some more troops. Moving further back, if you open up the flaps on either side of the ship, you can slide out a turret for your clone gunner to man, and shoot flick-fire missiles at enemy fighters not included. And again, if you want something else, you can pull the turret off its rails and slide in some speeders, or use the space to keep even more clones. At the tail of the ship, if you lower this flap, you can pull out this escape pod, just in case the Chancellor needs to escape the ship. Or fine, you can just toss that escape pod aside and shove even more clones in there. Lastly, just between the bridges, you can pull out this section to show a little space to put your clone pilot in. No extra clones necessary. All in all, that is a hefty amount of play features and customizability, really bringing up the value of this set in my eyes, as it works both as a display piece and a playset. Overall, I must admit, compared to modern LEGO building techniques, this set did age a little poorly, but I think it makes up for that in play value alone, a level of which you just don't often get in modern LEGO Star Wars sets. And even with the somewhat outdated looks, I'm happy to display this among the rest of my Clone Wars era ships and vehicles. Now, is this set worth buying in the big 25? Well, if you're buying used, you can get this set complete for around $200, which is pretty good considering how sought after this set is. However, if you only buy sealed or want a Venator for display only, you're probably better off buying the recent Ultimate Collector Series Edition Venator. So if that's your thing and you have the money for it, absolutely go with that one. However, I'm happy with my Venator. This set is everything Kid Me ever dreamed of, and I am very grateful to finally be able to add it to my collection and make that childhood dream come true. As for the remaining two of my Grails, I've already got the latest gunship, so I suppose we'll see if the new Death Star is any good. And for a whopping $1,000, it had better be. Anyhow, seeing as today's Revenge of the 5th, I'm off to spend way too much money at the LEGO store. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.